Folks at home, folks at home, folks at home, look what we're doing, look where we're at, and look at this guy. Welcome back to the channel, Mr. Tom Provo. It's been a long winter, guys. We haven't seen Tom in a while.
What do you think of Miss Fancy Pants?
Miss Fancy Pants is pretty sexy. This is Tom's new boat. I got Tom a YETI cooler to put in the boat, and he said he wanted Aquifer Blue. As you can see, I got him Aquifer Blue, and as soon as I got it for him, he calls me and just complains how bright it is. I say, it's not bright, it's fancy. And so, hence the name.
I didn't complain.
I'm
proud.
You're always complaining.
I'm proud, man.
Your new boat is...
loud and proud.
Introduce the new boat to the people at home.
This here is Miss Fancy Pants. And she's a sweetie. I'd never ordered a custom boat before, but Casey's sponsoring me, so thank God. And but I did, because you guys were late, I got started already and tied up some streamers on the rigs here. And, did you bring any streamers? You don't have any flies, do you?
Bro, match the hatch. I tied these last night. Yeah,
well, I see that from the Rio.
Yeah, I mean the Rio guys
tied that. Yeah.
Is that it?
Probably not, but go ahead and bring it. All them store-bought ones are pretty good, but the
hand-tied, Tom.
Get the ones that you can't get.
Look at these stupid flies I have here.
Ooh, he brought them back. I'll take those back. Thank you.
Nope. Hey, whoa.
Right. Thank you.
Dang it.
Let's do this one bank first, and then I'll go back up there.
So today we're going to be doing some streamer action. It's supposed to be a lot more cloudy than it is, but we are at like peak runoff, and the water is a little dirty, which will make it should fish decent. If this doesn't work, we'll try some other things. Fish on. It worked.
Casey, what do you got? Catfish?
I think so.
Got one on there? Looks like the rod's all bent. Yeah, it looks like a brown. I think it's a redding.
Oh, look at that bad boy. I've missed 3 fish so far. I was starting to doubt my skills, and then I knew better because guys like this exist in this little river. What a stud.
Cool little fish.
That's great cool. Little fish, especially on the streamer bite.
Almost everyone's caught one now. Almost. Because we may not get one.
Sweet. Let's do that about, I don't know, 100 more times?
20, at least 20.
20?
You had a big one on
I had
earlier.
a big fish on for just about 5 seconds. And came off, as soon as he came off, Logan was stripping fast to get the line in so he could get it on the camera. And as soon as mine came off, I looked down and big fish was going after Logan's and he pulled it.
And you're fishing in what, a big old black streamer?
Yeah, I switched over to the big black streamer. It's funny because we're trying to find the right color, right size. So we tied a black one on, which has been working. Then Logan tied a white one on, which is the exact opposite, and it's working.
Tom, did you do some whispering or something?
No, I'm just a guide, man. We just got lucky, and before we weren't lucky. So that's all I know. There's some luck involved in fishing. It helps to try and look in all the spots where you've caught them before. I mean, that does help a little bit. But that's all we've been doing. And they started biting about a half an hour ago. And we've had 3 or 4 good bites, so we know that it might work, but it could turn off at any time. It might just give us a little hurrah, and that's the end of it. But I'm hoping it'll just steady, keep getting better as the day warms, because it's still early and cold, so we might get lucky. And if it gets warm and goes the other way on us, we'll pull out and we'll go upriver and we'll fish in the caddis, because we're fishing below Fall River here, where the water's quite a bit colder. But I like it here because the water's high, and you got a lot of places to fish, and there's no one in here. So when we go mix it up with people in the warmer water, it'll be caddis time this afternoon.
Mr. Logie Bear's got a fish on finally.
You had enough bites in there.
Yeah.
Well, he kept saying he was getting hit, and you're like, maybe you're
sure you are,
bottom.
bud. Sure you're getting hit.
What do you say? Like, how good is Tom looking in his new Hush hat?
When you're handsome, it doesn't matter what hat you got on.
Oh, that's a good looking brown.
Yeah, buddy, dude, that's a
pretty one. That's the biggest brown trout I've ever caught in my life.
Butterscotch, you tell he inhaled that fly. Oh, that was your first fish, period?
No.
You've never caught a fish before?
No, that's fly.
Well, I remember you catching a few on accident. I remember that's how you mostly catch them.
Dude, he's pretty.
But you meant to catch that one, didn't you?
Bear with the fish on.
Yeah, just try not to break your rod, you know? Don't break your rod.
We just had quite a series of events that just took place there. Brown.
Probably no state record.
You're pushing a state record or nothing. That's a good one.
How was that, Logie Bear?
He just snapped his Sage X.
I just snapped my rod in half on a fish.
And my next retrieve, dude.
Next strip. Fish on. Pull him up. Pull him up. Pull him up. Pull him up. There we go.
Nice, buddy.
Dude, that's a pretty one, man.
Yeah, I just switched over to a Euro or a nymph rig. Third cast, bobber went down, set the hook, rod snapped immediately.
So what I'm gonna do?
And then I grabbed this line and started pulling it, and the fish was still on. Then he came off. But yeah, look at that. Good thing Sage has a good warranty.
Little spot. That's when you pull on the line to your haul or whatever. What's the line speed like that? I kind of thought this might work. He's a big little rainbow, isn't he?
He's feisty. He's feisty.
The rainbows were so fat in here a week ago. I couldn't believe how fast they were right now.
It's a pretty fish.
They are
We're
pretty
onto
in
something
here.
with that rig.
Yeah, the
So we switched. I just switched over to a nymph rig, running a leech and a quill. And I second cast when we tied that on is when I broke my rod. So we just switched over to this other rod. Second cast caught this guy's.
It's kind of a ridiculous looking fly if you're matching the hatch. It's maybe a caddis, maybe a mayfly, but it's got a big green and a gold bead on it. That's a good looking fish.
Yeah. I don't want a big one.
No, I got a picture with me. It'll look better.
There he is. That's a good one. On camera. Woo! So fun. Got him? Yeah.
Big one. Let's go.
We're recording.
Slide across the current. Yeah, that guy's cheap. He's young, so he doesn't want to go this way to the shallow.
What are we doing there, Big Hoss?
Just hooking big fish, no big deal.
That's a pretty decent shape.
Yeah, big healthy fish.
That's
Colorful.
a quill again.
Case.
Look at the shoulders.
Fish on, fish to the boat. I've had some a little bit of instances the last little while, but this is what we do.
Dang, boy.
Dang, boy.
It's pretty good. Look at the shoulders on that little pin.
He's thick. Look at
And
that.
it just came off spawn. It looks so healthy and clean.
We'll do that again. I don't think it's a fish. I did that twice in a row. See? Jeez, it was. That's a fish. Dude, it's sitting right on the bottom.
Right off the bottom, huh?
Yeah.
On that. Well, it's still a 14. Pretty good size hook. Now if you can lift him, we'll start sliding over here.
That's a good one.
Stud fish.
Better one?
Oh yeah.
Dude, he was like, would not come off the bottom.
He acted like a whitey.
Look at this thing. Oh my goodness. Woo-wee. Logie, what do we got there?
Big old rainbow. Nice and smooth. Drop him into the net. Keep pulling out of it.
Doing my part.
Okay, so if I put the net downstream from him, just drop him. And he'll
let him go.
The current will take him right in there.
Look at that thing.
That's how you hold him, just like that.
We're gonna have to go over some fish holding techniques.
Jesus.
Drop
Got a
him in the
couple
water.
of
Put him back in there.
elitists.
Put him back in there.
Do you guys think that we even got winded here?
Are they even on alert?
Do they even know that there's something going on?
Look at that buck in the center. He's got so much white on him. So we're going to do a little day in the life of Matt Lee and Eric when we get together and work. So a couple things we're gonna do is work on this video, which is the final video from Hawaii. And so far, guys, like I've been spending time just going through comments on the Hawaii series. You guys seem to really be enjoying it, and the positive comments are just like, that's all it is just really nice comments. So thanks for the kind feedback. So we're gonna work on that. We've got a conference call in about 25 minutes. We're hopping on with the whole Hush team to go over content, work stuff, you know, all the details. I'm actually gonna run out with Matt because we are going to tape the heavy set we had in the last Hushlife vlog, big heavy bull. It's a big 6x7. I feel like he's in the 330s, but I'm curious to see what he really is. He's so short on the main beams. He may not even hit 330. So we're gonna run out to the shop and score him. All right, cruising to the shop. It's another beautiful day here in Salt Lake City. Man, it's been hot. Oh, this thing needs to adjust. You on auto? What's going on here? Are we blown out?
So blown out.
There we go. I'm not about this manual life.
It's gonna change when you go in the shop.
I know, it's gonna be all dark. It's gonna look like it's black. Nice and cool in here. All right, so for you guys who do not know how to score an elk, we're gonna run you through the process of basically the Boone and Crockett scoring system. I'm not official, but I'll show you guys the basics. So you guys can maybe score your sheds or heads if you'd like. You can get online and probably find like a scoring sheet. But the basics are, for an elk antler, I'll just do like right antler, left. I personally like to do the tines first, so G1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So a typical elk with a 6-point frame will have 5 points, and then your main beam, I'll just do MB, and then your circumferences, so circumference 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'll do the extras line. This set is a 6x7, and it's not like a typical inline, so it's like an extra. Do the same on the left. 2, 3, and 4 circumference measurements. We'll just put an X for extras, and we're gonna get the total. This bull, he's pretty narrow, I would assume, if you hold him up, but I think most people just add 40, so we're gonna give him 40. So you're gonna add up your right antler, add up your left antler, add the 40, and that's gonna get your gross score. So if you were to net score, you actually deduct the differences from like each tine. I'm not a huge fan of like the whole net thing. I like gross. So let's go score them.
Nets are for fishes.
Nets are for fishes. All right. So this is a set we put in the last video. The comments were fun to read. A lot of people did say they would rather shoot the bull with mass and character. There was a good handful that liked the bigger frame. So you really don't, there's really no wrong answer. If you have a guess of what this scores, put it in the comment section now before we share it. But let me run you through the basics. I'm not gonna waste a ton of time like showing you each individual thing. Like I said, on your score sheet, you have G1, G2, G3, G4, and G5. This is what's considered the extra. And how you get the length of the tines is you have to pretend or imagine there was an imaginary line from the main beam to the main beam. Like what would it look like if that tine was not there? So one way to do it with a soft tape is to kind of run your tape like that. Those are touching the main beam, and that bottom mark about right there in the dead center of the tine is gonna be where you're gonna get your length. We're gonna go through and I'm gonna add them all up. And yeah, if you guys got a guess for these babies, put them in the comment section. And I don't know if that's a scoreable point right there. So 20 on the dot. $14 and 1. $12 on the dot. Right main beam is 44 and 4/8. All right, first mash measurement is 8 1/8. Another thing to keep in mind on the mass is you actually get credit for the smallest mass measurement between the tines. So on this one, you know, you can't cheat it and be like, well, he's massive, he's like, you know, well over 7. You actually need to find the skinniest part, which is just 7 even. Okay, we have, the numbers are in, and I was actually pretty surprised on main beam. Main beam on the right, 44 and 4/8. Main beam on the left, 47 and 5/8. Longer than I thought. Maybe there's just a lot of space like from here to here, because there's not much from after the royal on. So we're gonna add it up. This is kind of how I like to do it, which is, to me, it just makes it easier. I like to add up the 8s on the side here. So we have 14 8s. Then 8 into 14 is 1. It leaves us plus 1 and 6 8. So I'll just add plus 1 on top, and my total line under here is gonna be something and 6 8. I like to go down 1 plus 20. You could do it the same way, but it's just easier on a calculator. 16 plus 8 plus 44 plus 8, 5, and 47. Dude, for how different looking they are, they're only off by like 1 inch and 6 8. So together you got 6 8. So you're gonna know the total over here is gonna have 6 8 left over. 146 plus 147 plus our 40, 333. Dang, dude. I said 335. I don't know if I said 335 on the camera. I said 330s. But off camera, Matt's like, what do you think? I'm like, I really think he's like 335. That is what a 330 bull can look like when he's compact and mass. But I think if say you drew like a really good tag and someone's like, what'd you shoot? How big? You're like 335. It doesn't sound that big, but honestly, this on a skull or on a mount would get more attention than half of these sheds in here that are just very typical that might score 340, 350. This bull right here is like 385. We go back and look at just, if I was to put it like on the pedicle, that's like the difference. You're talking from a scoring bull. Then the scoring bull has both the mass and the length. Pretty cool comparison. It's got him beat on the front. Seconds are close, third's way bigger on the bigger bull, and everything after that's way bigger. Doesn't take much to go from like a 330 bull to like a 350 bull. You're really only talking about, you know, a 1/2 inch to 1 inch on each point. So when it comes to like scoring bulls on the hoof, it can be pretty tricky, but if you get to score a lot of sheds and see a lot of bulls and be on a lot of hunts, especially like Matt has, you get better at field judging them. Anyways, hopefully you guys found that interesting. If you got to score one of your sheds or one of your sets at home, now you kind of have a good idea how to do it.